Power on. Select your players.
Pierre, Sarah, Glenn.
Select your topic.
Games.
Select your format.
Entertaining podcast.
They're called the Button Boys. So make some fucking noise. 'Cause they're gonna talk about video gaming and stuff.
Button Boys.
Hello and welcome to Button Boys, a comedy video games podcast. My name is Glenn Moore. I'm joined, as always, by Sarah Keyworth. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, Glenn.
Hello, Sarah. And, of course, today is Bring Your Pierre Novelli to Work Day. I'm joined as well by Pierre Novelli. Hello, Pierre.
Hello.
Welcome.
Shit, I forgot my piano belly.
Yeah, everyone gets one.
You have to share Glenn's. Yeah.
Yeah. You
So
might,
now I get to see what you do for work.
Oh, fuck. Oh, dear. Okay.
And
This
it's
feels
this.
like my parents
I've always
visiting me
wanted
here.
to know.
Yeah.
And so what is it?
Yeah. And people enjoy that, do they?
And it matters, does it?
And you make money with that, do you?
Just where are you paying the rent? Now,
Is it important? Oh, no.
I want to kick off, as always, by talking about the games that we're playing, as we always do. Now, because it's the middle of summer, that's not always a big time for big releases. Obviously, in recent months, we've had Death Stranding 2, and we've had the new Mario Kart, but it's really sort of the autumn where things start to really kick off. And so with that in mind, when we do reach for sort of September, October, November, the months ending in Burr, we're going to start being able to talk more up to the wire and down to the wire about games that have just come out and giving our thoughts on games that are just being released and games that you might like to have on your radar. But until then, what have you guys been playing?
Go, Pierre, go.
I'm still, well, Dark Souls.
Of course.
As per our Patreon episode.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're listening and you are a new listener, Sarah and I are playing through Dark Souls and we discuss
And
it.
me.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you've
but
done
you
it
know
all.
what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing.
You've
I'm
done
sorry.
it.
Yeah, this is like my
Yeah.
fourth time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're experiencing it. You're playing it, we're experiencing it.
I did experience, but I have experienced.
Yeah,
I had to go through this as well.
But now you're just
on
doing
a
it for...
handheld Nintendo
No.
Switch.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
But now you're just doing it for sick thrills.
I'm doing it
Yeah.
for 6 thrills. Yeah.
And
Yes.
I've got complaints about the keyboard orient. Anyway, we'll talk about that on the Patreon.
But we're suffering our way through Dark Souls
Yeah.
on Patreon. if you-
Now I'm kind of like it's gone from like scary to sick thrill to like it's so much sicker that I'm enjoying it for pleasure. In the same way that like I find it really sinister that James Bond always has sex in Missionary, because I'm like he's had sex so much that like now that's like the nastiest thing he can do, and you go, what else have you done?
So imagine it this traditional and normal.
Yeah.
And it's always in a nice hotel. It's never somewhere horrible.
Yeah, because he's done all that, hasn't he?
It
Yeah.
would be so horrible. The films would be so haunting if he switched up his position every time, though.
He really switched it up, and and all the
Yes.
Bond girls' names
Or if-
were about sex. So it's like, miss shit on my chest.
That's the first one you went for. Yeah.
That's the first one he would go for.
Okay.
If there's a pattern, you go, no, the last one was missionary, so this one will be doggy. So, so they go, oh, and that means that Daniel Craig was actually the first Bond to start with. So
Most popular quiz show question.
yes,
Yeah.
In which Bond film
Only
did they do
Connect.
reverse cowgirl?
No, one of our pledges in the first episode of this was we keep all chat video game related. So do remember 007 First Light is coming to all consoles next year, which we're very excited about.
Yes, if you want James Bond to look a bit like he's wearing Tom Cruise's face having murdered him, it's the perfect
It's the Mission
game.
Impossible mask.
Yeah, he's wearing the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible mask, ironically, as James Bond. And also just sticking around on Warzone as per.
What's happening in Warzone this week?
413-meter sniper headshot on a moving target.
Wow, well done.
Oh,
Where the game
Pierre.
itself gives you like 7 fake medals and 11 guitar solos.
Yeah.
It's got to there's an era in Warzone at the moment where your battle pass achievements are heralded by like a wow, but there's a glitch that packs them, that like stacks them up, so you don't get them when you get them. You get them when the game remembers that it was supposed to give you this medal. So what happens is you're like sneaking through downtown,
Yeah.
going, I know there's a guy, I can hear him opening doors, and I'm just trying to but then there'll be like 11 in a row. So it's like wah da 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 da, wah da 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 da, wah da da, like, and you're just like and if you don't change the settings, it's at like max volume, and you're just desperately trying not to be like stabbed in the neck by some Uzbek mercenary or something.
Especially if, do they still have the sort of proximity chat on? Like, can they hear your guitar solo through? Is it like trying to stealth through a building while playing the guitar as quietly as possible?
No, quieter. Don't stop. just quieter.
I do want these.
I
did earn these.
It's as demeaning as someone going, and another medal, and you know what, have another one. Well done,
Yeah,
you idiot.
They can't mean something. They can't all mean something. I guess it's a bit like
If all your medals arrive in a bucket, and they just throw on the floor, and you go have them.
yeah, just give me one medal.
I hope you're happy, Pierre.
Yeah. You're good at whatever this is.
But if you line them all up, you look like Captain Tom. You'll look like when they've got like a whole ray and you go, there's too many medals.
The North Koreans, so they go around the back.
Yeah, and you go, I killed hundreds of people.
But they're like buttons, so they do play the guitar
They
solo.
do play the guitar, so yeah. There's a little string on the back which is like, reach for the stars. I guess that would bother me. That reminds me of visiting a friend of mine who lives in France, and I was sleeping on like his sofa bed in the living room, and his girlfriend like crept in one morning to try not to wake me. And I tried to pretend to be asleep because I didn't want to upset her.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want her to go, damn it, I've woken this up. And she tiptoed ever so quietly around the whole living room so that she tiptoed to the kitchen, and she so gently flipped on the kettle as if that was going to go, shh, I'm going to make the quietest cup of tea. It was valiant.
You should have got a little ring.
Yeah.
like exclamation mark
Must
above
have
your
been my
head.
imagination.
Don't Wait Glenn is the first game that Button Boys is going to release as one of our in-house games.
One of our in-house games. We're going to start our own games empire, we thought.
Yeah.
We were
The
thinking,
first thing everyone does is put the kettle on.
based on the poster over there, we were thinking that Splitwise could be a good idea. Hear us out. A good idea for a game. In that,
I know that you two would love it.
hear us out. Are you familiar with the game Unpacking?
As in real life when you've finished the grocery shop.
This is basically what it was. It was a couple of years ago, very small indie game, nice little pixel art indie game. And the idea was someone had just moved house and you were unpacking their boxes and taking all their possessions out and filling an empty house. It sounds crap. And it
I
was.
just
Moving
feel
on. We've got.
I fear that my catchphrase is going to be, and that is fun for you, is it?
But
I think that's a good catchphrase.
that's fine. But the idea was it started off as like some kid's bedroom, and then once you sort of completed that, you then moved on to a different house a few years later where the kid's grown up a bit and the family have moved home somewhere else, and you're unpacking slightly more mature possessions, big dildos, like more mature possessions. But then it became a case of like, oh, they've moved into a flat and you're hanging up pictures of them with their boyfriend. And then the next property a few years later is like, it's a smaller flat and there's no pictures of the boyfriend. Like it was sort of like, oh, you're experiencing their breakups and you're living their life vicariously through them, through unpacking their possessions through each level.
Sounds horrifyingly depressing.
No, but it was sweet.
Yeah.
It was like, that's
You
what...
get the parents' ashes out. in the next one. It's,
No, they don't go there. Not in the kitchen. But we thought in Splitwise, if it was a case
Their
of each...
three things in a prison toothbrush.
Each level becomes it's sort of like in one level your computer's got a hard drive, but in the next level your hard drive has been seized. And then
Oh
you're in
my
prison.
God, yeah.
But with
You're unpacking the bunker.
Yeah.
Retreated to.
With Splitwise, I guess it would be that the first couple of ones, it's like, oh, I live with, say, two housemates, and I need to sort of make sure they pay me the gas and electricity.
Very basic monthly bills.
Just your utility stuff. But then, like, the final level is 20 of us are at an Indian restaurant,
Oh
and
my
a few people have had starters.
Some people have already left.
And some people don't drink.
Oh,
Right?
So
What
it's
a
just-
final boss.
Yeah.
That's the final
Is it
boss.
someone's birthday? Are they paying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Mid-level is a 15-person stag
Yeah.
do.
That sounds truly hellish.
Yeah.
You not
Yeah.
into it? You into it?
Well, no, I hate that in real life, so I don't know why I'd want to play that game.
What have you been playing aside from Dark Souls, if anything?
Have been playing Star Wars or Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Another Souls-like.
Another Souls-like, and weird to say about a game that I have been playing quite a lot this week, but I don't like it.
You do or don't?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't like it.
What about it don't you like?
I think it's all perfectly fine,
Uh-huh.
but it's not particularly exciting.
Yeah.
Everything is exactly how I would want it to be, but I'm not feeling thrilled.
Yeah.
All the mechanics is quite satisfying mechanics, but I'm bored.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't really work out what I don't like.
Is it
about
not enough cool lasers and stuff?
There's a decent amount of lasers.
There's
but
wall running. There's running along walls.
running.
Although the wall running I find a bit frustrating because I think if a game gives you a fun thing, let me do the fun thing forever. So if I'm running along a wall, I want to be able to run along a wall for like 400 meters. He gets about 3 steps in and then starts to
Dips
slip down,
down,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
get that. I get nothing out of that.
Well, like just real life parkour.
It's real life parkour.
Right.
That's yeah. What I quite like are the collectibles you get. And I'm not a collectibles guy, but I find it quite funny that all the collectibles you find are in chests. Like he actively finds them in chests dotted around the map. Cal Kestis, the main guy, and they're all cosmetic stuff, and it makes sense when they're clothes. But I find it really funny sometimes where you open it up and says goatee, and you can then like change his physical appearance. But I find it really weird. It's sort of like you found a beard in the woods in a chest. That's
Disembodied beard.
That's the most sinister thing. Just come with a bit of chin, a bit of someone else's chin.
And he's like, yeah, I'll put that on.
Oh, but I'll wear these trophies of the slain.
Or did he find a photo in a chest of a really great-looking goatee on a guy and go, that gives me an idea.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
It could be around my mouth for some reason. Yes. Lovely.
Oh, it's a shame you don't like it, but maybe you're just a bit soulsed out
I'm
at the moment.
early on in the game.
Fine.
I'm still in the sort of first environment, which I think maybe I'm finding the first. I think I'm just finding it a bit dull to look at.
Is this past because it opens in like a factory, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a sort of space station-y type.
Are you still in that bit?
Industrial type.
Because
Snooze
that
fest.
bit feels a bit like Uncharted. I quite like that element of it. There was like a lot of like swinging and
Yeah, it's a bit
felt-
swinging.
Yeah, but it's really you get your
But
swinging.
maybe I'm all
bump.
swinged out because I've been playing Uncharted as well. Maybe
yeah.
I'm playing two similar games.
Do you know what? If the last two things you were playing were Dark Souls and Uncharted, you've Jeff Goldblum the Fly.
I have.
You've
Yeah.
mixed those two together into that.
Yeah.
Is the lore quite unengaging? Where you sort of go, the Jedis have to do something.
I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Okay,
This is
yeah.
perhaps where I'm going wrong.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of a lightsaber as
Yeah.
a concept,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a weapon of choice.
I always-
That's good fun in a game.
I always think, why can't the Jedi move themselves? They can fly other people up and down things. Right?
Yeah.
Why can't they make themselves jump really high or fly? Like,
Can they never?
it doesn't seem like
No,
it.
but
They
don't seem
can't
to-
do big jumps because they can do sort of the flips.
They
and
seem
things.
to be able to do big jumps that are sort of
mildly
they're big,
impressive.
but they're still like Jackie Chan could
yeah,
do it, and you wouldn't.
pro athlete impressive.
Yes. Whereas they should just be able to, like, I don't know, go up a second floor
Yeah.
window just with, like forcing their own hair.
Yeah.
It's like,
I used to think that my understanding of physics was so bad that I thought if you were strong enough, you should be able to pick yourself up. and the idea that actually a way for people to commute was to just grab their fringe and just forwards diagonal and just start to zoom forward. That's how everyone would get to work.
that's why in the old days they're all holding hats.
Yeah, that's exactly what holding hats. And then if you have a ponytail, that's if you want to reverse to work. Physics-wise, I don't see why that shouldn't. Why wouldn't that work? Explain that to me.
So would you need one strong arm?
Yeah.
All you need is one strong arm. That's all you need.
It's my commuting arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, someone's got like a really big arm, and you go, "You're going on holiday." I go, "Yeah, I'm trying to get to Tenerife."
Yeah, all the way.
You're like one of those guys who does the diagram of like chainmail magnet. Like, why am I not moving?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Now,
right.
yeah. Okay, all right. So Jedi Survivor, Warzone.
Yeah.
I've been playing a game that I reckon no one has heard of, and that's fine. But I'm playing a horror game on my Switch called Stasis Bone Totem. I don't like it when games have a colon and then another bit of the title.
Because it makes it look like a scam from Instagram.
Yeah. Endemir's Bane, Shadow Fist. And you go, fuck this. Yeah.
Age of Kingdoms.
Yeah, and
Bone Lords.
And it's weird because like there's like a Viking on the front cover, but the gameplay on Instagram is someone moving along a highway where there's loads of zombies and it's auto firing. And there are two options of either you can add 100 people to your army or you can lose one leg. And they're like, which do I do? And then they go for neither. And you
It's
go,
a Sophie's choice.
who is playing this? And then they always die to an enormous zombie at the end.
Yeah.
And then all the comments are, this isn't it at all. This isn't what the game was. I went on it. It was Google Maps. It was another version of Google Maps. So that's why I don't like the little. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor, like even that, you just call it Jedi, or
Yeah.
like Horizon Zero Dawn. You don't even have to call it that.
Just say it's the Jedi's again.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that. It's the Jedi.
It's
the Jedi's again.
Jedi's again, and it's just what you want it to be.
Yeah. Another Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars Game 4. Star Wars
Yeah.
Game 5.
That
Let's
just
cut to the chase.
all I want is numbers. I just want numbers. Yeah. Stasis Bone Totem makes me feel stupid saying, but it's about a and what makes it even more stupid.
I
I
thought
don't.
a part of me thought it would be the made-up game.
There's no made-up game. I promise there's no made-up game. This is all fully true. But what makes the game work? I really love the game, and what's happened is I started talking about it, and now I feel stupid. The protagonists are a married couple, a guy and a girl called Mac and Charlie, and I've just realised in my head It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
This game isn't taking itself seriously.
Yeah.
But it is. It's unrelentingly bleak. Mac and Charlie are a married couple who lost their young daughter a few years previously, and they're trying to sort of recover from that loss. And what they do is, in the near future, they go around sort of abandoned oil rigs and the stuff for salvage.
This
and they
does
try
not match the name so far.
doesn't match
Yeah.
the name at all. But
Where's
then
the bone
they
totem?
reach one particularly sinister oil rig where there's an elevator going far, far down into the depths of the ocean, and they just uncover just a very strange base. Gameplay-wise, it's sort of isometric, and it's almost point and click. You move the characters round, but you're sort of separated at various points in the game. You've got some stuff in your inventory. Mac's got some stuff in his inventory. And what you do is you sort of, it's almost like the fox, the chicken, and the grain. You sort of switch, you go, right, I need this item given to me, and then you take that item so you can get through your next bit. Right. And then they realize they need a third individual, so they have a little robotic bear, which this is horrible.
Okay.
A little robotic bear that it's an animatronic bear that's got basically like a human's face, but with hair. And it's called
So not a bear then.
not a bear. I'll show you a
An
photo.
Ewok.
It's basically an Ewok, but it looks really, really unpleasant. This,
Oh God.
Oh my god!
Right? And
that
Moses-
was way less cute than I thought it was going to
Moses-
be.
was-
Check our Instagram.
Check our Instagram,
We're going
because
to put
this
that
is-
on our Instagram.
But if you don't
It's
want to
not
do that,
nice.
let's try and put it into words.
Yeah.
yeah.
It looks like a big sloth has Hannibal lectured another
Yeah.
sloth
Yeah,
and
yeah,
put its
yeah.
face on its face.
It's like a sloth is trying to burst out the face of a bear.
It's so unpleasant. But Moses was something they basically made for their daughter's entertainment and to keep their daughter safe.
Oh,
They
and
blame
that's why she killed herself.
They blame Moses for the daughter's tragic death. It's not yet clear how the daughter. We think the
to
daughter.
frighten the child.
We
into
think
behaving.
the daughter died from drowning, so far, is what I think has happened. And Moses, because he's like a safety bear, is really cack-handed. And every environment he goes into, because he's got a very soft human male voice, but it's just a bit wet and metallic, because he keeps on going, I'm a very good bear. And, and it's so horribly sinister. But every time he goes into a horrible environment, he goes, I don't think this is safe for a child. Or a child could drown here. And they keep on being like, Moses, can you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Because he's so cack-handed. But as a trio, you're working together
Moses,
to work
it's
out how to
too
get
late.
through. And I'm playing it, and it's unrelentingly grim, but it's really, the puzzles are excellent. And I'm so engrossed because I know
Who comes up with this shit?
That's exactly it. I was playing it going, why would you
great.
think this? If
Yeah.
I came up with that, I would feel embarrassed to tell anyone, just in case they pressed a button under their table and like medics come in and take you away. Because it's just horrible. It's so horrible, but not in a gleefully horrible way. It's like touching, but it's really disgusting. And I'm so scared on all their respective behalves that like I know this can't end well for them. It's
Feels
so
like
tragic.
The sort of nightmarish version of It Takes Two.
It's the horrible version of It Takes
like,
Two where you're
remove
working together.
the whimsy.
Yeah, every item you find is just so weirdly everything. It's all the items are all very sort of acid based and medical bag based, and it's all very organic in an unpleasant way. But also I've been playing Katamari Damacy, which is a very Japanese game where you roll a ball around and you pick up small items, and the ball gets bigger until eventually you're rolling around towns and seas. So actually, I contain multitudes.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about our main topic of the day. Now, Sarah, this is something you suggested. So take us through what today's concept is.
Today we're going to be talking about the games that you rage quit at any point in your life, never returned to, and they still haunt you to this day.
It's such a horrible feeling.
It's horrible. And especially when you kind of slightly age out of the console or something, and you're like, I can't even really feasibly go back.
Is that out of inaccessibility or humiliation? The idea of like, I can't be seen playing this still.
I'd say accessibility, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do have a PlayStation 2, and I don't know if I still own this game, but I could probably find a copy. I'm not against returning to it.
Well,
Perhaps I shall.
What game triggered this for you? What's the issue game? Don't be ashamed. It's a safe space.
Wallace and Gromit Project Zoo.
Project what?
Project Zoo.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So
Can I just
Yeah.
can I just say
What did you think I was going to say?
anything but that? But we have made up games every week.
Yeah.
And I had a little list in my head of like, well, these are future ones. I put a Wallace and Gromit one on there as a fucking joke. The very idea that there'd be a Wallace and Gromit. I mean, fair, this was Wallace and Gromit hentai, but like the idea that there'd be the idea that there would be a Wallace and Gromit game. How old are you?
Probably about 10.
Fine, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's
Yeah.
okay.
It's a great game. It leaves off where I think the wrong trousers ends.
Right. Okay.
In the
Yeah.
Feathers McGraw is locked up in the zoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because they think he's a penguin.
Well, he is a penguin.
He is a penguin.
Sorry.
But they thought he was a chicken.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he would
sorry,
then be
yeah.
on a farm.
Right. Yes. Okay.
He'd be more likely to be killed if he was on a farm, yeah.
Yeah.
He
They
got
just
off
eat
lightly,
him.
didn't he?
yeah.
We
He'll
don't
be
do
out
death
in 5.
penalty for penguins.
Yeah. Okay. So he's in
Hanging, they do. He doesn't even have a neck. He doesn't have a neck.
You have to hang him by
Where
the
would they
beak.
tie it?
He would just slip straight. I feel like trying to hang Nigel Farage. There's nothing there. He's like there's no difference between neck and head. It's all just a slender vertical line.
That's why he's so popular. He's unhangable.
He's they're calling it, you know, like when they say the Titanic was unsinkable. Farage, they're calling him ungallowsable.
Feathers McGraw has, I mean, the details are hazy. He's doing something diabolical in the zoo, and he's got various animals locked in cages. So you're Gromit, obviously, because
Yes.
Wallace is not doing anything, and you have to make your way through various different environments of the zoo. One of which is like a gold mine.
Okay.
In the zoo, yeah.
In the zoo, of course. Yeah, that famous bit. And save each animal that's in a cage. And I would love to say that I got stuck on a level. I did not.
Right.
I got stuck in a sort of middling environment with no idea where I was supposed to go next.
That's the
And
worst
I
fucking feeling.
could not work it out.
Yeah.
And I couldn't Google it.
Yeah.
So after sort of circling this place again and again, climbing up, climbing down, looking everywhere, it would give you... Most games, especially games aimed at children, will be like, look over here. The Last of Us, for God's sake, is like, you know, if you hang around somewhere long enough, it's like, hey, do you need help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want a hand?
It's the yellow paint thing. Ledges you
Yeah.
can climb always splattered in yellow paint.
Exactly.
One of
yeah.
the zombies will go and kind of point to the.
Yeah. Hey,
Maybe over here.
Have you considered shooting me in the face?
Abby went that way. No. Maybe I would play this again and be like, oh, it's the most obvious thing in the world.
The worst thing is when you look up a game that old and you go, it took me so long, I was really stuck. And you go on YouTube and you type in the name of the game and walk through and you see it lasts for 45 minutes. And you go, what
whole
was I
thing.
as a kid?
Yeah.
I had Spyro the Dragon. First thing I opened on Christmas Day when I was a kid, along with the PlayStation, couldn't believe it. And I was about 6 or 7 years old maybe. And my sister and I played Spyro the Dragon for 1 hour every single day for 1 year. That was the only game we had and never finished it. And then I played it again in lockdown and it took me 3.5 hours. And it was like, was I
Really?
just thick? Was I really stupid?
I bought the remastered game and couldn't fucking finish it as an adult.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry. You're
I'm
really
incredibly
stupid.
sick. I hate flying levels though. This should be one of my gripes, but flying level and Spyro is what, like
Yeah.
70% flying.
Yeah, and flying in Spyro doesn't feel nice.
No.
The wings are too small.
Wings are too
Yeah.
small.
It's not tangible.
Yeah.
It feels
Head's too heavy.
Yeah.
You just nose dive. I hate that.
So did you actually like rage quit it, or was there a day where you just go, I've gotten bored of finding out where to go?
I
And obviously
think-
Gromit
but
can't.
It haunts me. Like I think about it a lot. I think a lot about how much I was enjoying the game.
Yeah.
And it just came to an unnatural end for me because I couldn't carry on. I just thought I'm never gonna work it out.
Yeah, in many ways, you got the worst possible ending, which was Gromit was now locked in the zoo. Yeah. With Feathers, a real like, I'm not locked in here
Till
with you,
the
you're locked in
end.
here with me. Feathers McGraw's won there.
Yeah.
And the relief when they released a new film this last Christmas just gone.
Yeah.
Just to see he's okay.
Just you knew that you hadn't let him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you feel if it had opened on Christmas Day and it was just called Wallace?
Yeah.
Wallace and
Yeah.
then the whole thing was sort of like you just see them, like you see these paramedics removing like a
Yeah.
body bag shaped dog
From the zoo.
into an ambulance from the zoo.
Yeah. And it sort of goes back to the year that I quit the game.
Yeah. They're calling it the most dead dog yet. You go, what? This isn't fun.
So that is one I go back to. There's a lot of
That's a great one.
There's a lot of games when I was a kid that I would want to play again now. No,
Yeah.
hopefully they'd be easier. But a big one that I don't think would be any easier is did you ever play Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer?
No, the only surfing one I had was SSX Tricky.
Did you? Oh yes.
Oh
that's
wait, no,
one.
that was snowboarding. Sorry,
Yeah.
was this in my head? I've got snow and the water
Water.
fully mixed up.
Well,
The
but
temperature's all wrong.
The
Yeah.
snowboarding, the mechanics of that game compared to like a Tony Hawk's,
Yeah.
they could never quite compete
No.
because the nature of snowboarding is that you need to be going downhill and you need snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
which is also the big issue with the Kelly Slater Pro Surfer game, where you cannot really feasibly change the environment that you're in because you need a wave. Yeah. So you can be like, now we're in Antarctica, but realistically, it's a wave.
Were you familiar with Kelly's work before the game?
I've never heard of Kelly Slater.
Well, actually, I've got another named game that's come up here.
Oh, yeah.
This is from Erin Doran, who messaged me on Instagram when we put this out and said, what have you rage quit? And she said one of the most rage quitty games around. This is a game called Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Now, it's weird that the game is called Getting Over It.
That sounds like a
with
Channel 5 show.
Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, because everyone's like, well, who is Bennett Foddy? Bennett Foddy is the guy that made the game. So in many ways, it's like Sid Meier's Civilization.
I see.
Oh.
Okay.
Bennett Foddy makes intentionally frustrating games. In fact, coming out to PlayStation, I believe in the autumn, or from September onwards, is a game called Baby Steps, in which you play like a fail son in a onesie in his parents' basement, who is suddenly just transported to an open world, and he can't walk properly. He's learning how to walk, so you've got to use all the trigger buttons to sort of move step by step.
Yeah.
He created QWOP on the computer. Did you ever play this where there was like an athlete running down a track, but you had to use each individual?
I have played that.
That's what Bennett Foddy created. He made funny, stupidly hard games.
Yeah.
And he made one called Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. And what Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy is, and I implore anyone to just give it a go for 5 minutes to make you go, what is this for? You play a topless, possibly naked, bald, muscly man who is in a large circular jar.
Is this wussy-wussy?
This isn't try not to come. So he has an enormous sledgehammer, and you use, if say using touchscreen, I played it on iPhone, you use the touchscreen to sort of move where you're putting the sledgehammer. And the idea is you sort of push it down into the ground to sort of throw yourself up, and then you use the sledgehammer like a pickaxe to cling onto certain ledges. And the idea is you're making your way up from a base level all the way up one very, very long vertical level, basically up into space. It is a mountainous climb, a very, very long one. Any mistake you make, even 5 hours into the game, can send you to the beginning. And there is no progress whatsoever. We talk a lot about Dark Souls. At least there's incremental progress. There's learning. There's possibly the acquisition of level. You get to level up. This is just... You go back to the beginning.
Why are people doing it? Why are people spending their days doing this?
I maybe gave it an hour a couple of years ago because I was like, I am intrigued.
You love suffering.
I love suffering, but also I was like, but it must be doable. People have done it. And apparently when you do get to the end, there's end credits. And the end credits are it's everyone who's finished the game.
The names of the people.
The names of the people who have finished the game because it's logged into like your Apple account or whatever. Yeah.
So it's like it's the gaming equivalent of one of those insane ultra marathons that like 20 people ever like
It's
what's
Tough
it called,
Mudder.
the Barclay marathons or something, where it's like 20 people in history have ever finished this.
Yeah.
And they were all listed on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having your name on a trophy. You go, you've completed Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. The reason his name is listed is because every time you do plummet back down, his soothing Australian voice comes over the top and just gives you various philosophical sentences about relaxing and just moving on from failure. But it is so unhelpful. That's what makes you quit. Because you end up at the bottom and he'll be sort of like, I guess don't worry about it. I go, shut up. I don't need this right now. I don't need this. I used to have a housemate who, if I was playing Pro Evo and I conceded a goal, he would just be like watching us play, but he would just gently massage your shoulders and go, you're not very good, are you? And you just go, I'm going to fucking hit you, Richard. I've never hit a person in my life. I'm going to smack you in the teeth.
That's so funny. What a funny thing to do.
It's really, I hate it so much because FIFA's obviously going to be the main one that people rage quit. I had so many messages from people saying previous FIFAs, previous Pro Evos, especially when playing against a computer, because people do terrifying things. I remember once playing as Germany and playing against a complete stranger as playing as Saudi Arabia.
Online?
I was 6-0 up at the halftime break. I was like, this is weirdly easy. They then beat me 7-6 in the second half because they let me score 6 goals against them so that they could just prove their point. And the worst thing is the commentators in FIFA are so unhelpful because they go, no, he's not doing very well. The team's doing badly. Glenn, shit. And you go, how do you know how's this happened?
Ever since Glenn moved to the following address, they just know
yeah. This has been broadcast to everybody.
Somebody's got a mod that makes it personal.
Button Boys.
I got sent a lot of Echo the Dolphin.
Echo the Dolphin's a massive one.
yeah.
Dreamcast, was it?
Yeah.
I saw
Sega.
I saw Ruby Clyde this morning,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and that was what they said. Echo the Dolphin.
Echo the Dolphin.
Actually, they said Echo the fucking Dolphin.
Dolphin, yeah.
Just to make
People
it accurate.
hate that dolphin.
Yeah.
I think the creator admitted they made a mistake. They made a mistake making that game as hard as they did.
Really?
There's one level where they've made a literal mistake where there's something like the hitbox is wrong on a fucking jellyfish or something, and it just makes it almost impossible.
No.
There's some error in it. The Lion King Sega game. We had that.
Aladdin. I got Aladdin quite a lot on the Mega Drive. That was a really hard one.
I think the Mega Drive had a different name in South Africa because I think we got a kind of grey zone, like Japanese version of it. Because when
it was called the Grey Zone.
the
And you go,
grey
"Is this?"
zone.
Yeah.
Have you played on the grey zone? No,
That is the kind of game that Glenn would have
Yeah.
completed. To be
Yeah.
fair.
Guys, don't you like it? It's meaningless.
It's different shades of grey, and you've got to name them all.
There are nearly 2 volume settings. The volume settings are easy, medium, and hard.
hard is just someone in one headphone eating crisps, and in the other headphone random screaming.
Yeah.
It's such a difficult game. It's The Sims, but that's what's happening.
There should be more accessibility settings with regards to hard volume.
But when they release it,
It's
like,
The Sims, but Simlish is eating crisps.
oh, I couldn't play it. I would quit. Like there's zones for DVDs, like Zone 1, Zone 2.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had that for Sega consoles. And South Africa Africa didn't have a zone, so they got like some kind of export version of the. I don't think it was called Sega Mega Drive. It was called something. Sega Genesis, maybe.
Yes.
But
But they just didn't have Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever. You had like Nelson the Mandela.
I had
Something
Nelson the
like
Mandela.
Nelson the Mandela.
Yes, yeah. Collecting freedom, I guess.
And if you get hit, like a bit of freedom comes out, and if you get hit again, then you die in prison.
Very dark game.
Really dark game.
Really
For
popular.
Ultimately for children.
But like the problem with Echo the Dolphin or the Lion King game and stuff, and a lot of these old games, the rage quit came from the fact that there was a pixel perfect aspect,
Yeah.
like Abe's Odyssey as well, where it's
Yeah,
like,
we spoke about last week.
You figured it out and you did the right thing, but the pixel was wrong. Like one pixel of the character's foot was slightly off the landing bit, so
Across
you
the
died,
line,
you
yeah.
exploded, you burst actually. So there's that. I realized actually I'd replayed for nostalgia reasons a while ago Medal of Honor Allied Assault, which we talked about. And I realized I'd never finished it. I must have just got distracted. In my head, I
Really?
thought I finished that game.
It's
That's
not
one
very
of my
long.
favorite games
First-person
ever.
shooters never have long campaigns, do they?
No, well, again, we're back. When you're 11, you just go, "This is the longest thing I've ever done in my life." But the final mission is a kind of very like under sceneried, under graphic Stalingrad mission that I just had no memory of.
Are you sure it was definitely in the game?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't accidentally stumble across some weird
DLC.
like, hot coffee sort of thing? Yeah.
No.
I imagine that this is not the same as your experience, but I never completed games when I was a child.
Like
Oh,
deliberately,
really?
or you just lost interest?
I didn't know that that games were
That they
to
ended.
be completed.
Yeah.
When did you get diagnosed with ADHD again?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Did that come up as like evidence?
No.
Did anything like no? Okay.
No, we had enough evidence elsewhere. Yeah, we didn't have to go there.
I guess as well.
ADHD, playing lots of games, never completing them. Autism, playing lots of games, completing them.
every single one.
These are the
Yeah.
two flavors.
I had, I guess, because of like the Mega Drive, because you couldn't save games, you started from scratch every day. So actually, you wouldn't really have the
Yeah.
compulsion to complete games. So actually, when the PlayStation came around, I was like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be in a new place. Isn't that nice? What do you have a personal one then? What's
There's various sort of campaigns and things that I would quit. I mean, Steel Division, the kind of tediously realistic World War II strategy game I talked about. The missions are so difficult, and a few times I'll just go, okay, yeah, I'm not doing this.
So I think it's
I'm
what
not
sometimes
I'm not doing this.
Like Crusader Kings, you just get bored when you go, I kind of dominate most of the world.
So there is no end.
There is. Crusader Kings reaches a specific year.
No, I know it runs out of time.
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
There's no
not re-
fanfare. There's no,
There's no
you completed it.
satisfying
Yeah,
ending.
you go,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
King's dead probably.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, somebody sent me one, and I realised it's a game that I played a lot with my brother that I just kind of want to bring up for nostalgia's sake. The South Park game on PS1.
Now, South Park games are pretty good.
They're so fun.
They're really good.
and they're so funny.
Yeah.
It's so rare. We'll do an episode in the future about humour in games because
Yeah.
it's something that's always so lacking. For some reason, South Park has nailed it
I
every
think
time.
there's like a turkey launcher in it. You just fire turkeys at.
Right, yeah.
And the sound of the turkey, we would make the sound of the turkey.
Yes, I
a lot.
remember that game. It had multiplayer.
Was
The turkeys
Really
weren't
good
you.
turkey.
Yeah.
And you could have snowball fights. I think the big one was we would just do like first to 5 snowball fight type games.
Yes, I remember that game. I had got a good one sent in that is along the lines of Wallace and Gromit from Kian on Instagram. And Kian says, there was an old Garfield game for PS2, which already I think is so
it's like Wallace and Gromit over again. You
It's
go, when
so-
we're making anything.
It's so funny to have a Garfield
The
game.
Dilbert game.
You have to
George and Lynn from The Sun.
The Garfield game. Make a wry comment.
it's not
Yeah.
far off.
Press analog stick to cast a sideways glance at John.
There was an old Garfield game for PS2. PS2, that's late.
That's late as well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
late to be making this shit. The premise was that Garfield had made a big mess and had to clean it up before John came home and took away his lasagnas or whatever.
Is this any better than the Unpacking game that you were talking about?
This is so much. Unpacking is really good. Unpacking is really good. It sounds. If you'd
So-
never heard of Garfield, you'd go, "Sorry, what is Garfield a man?"
Garfield's a really horrible man. So, Garfield has made a big mess and has to clean it up before John came home and took away his lasagnas or whatever is a bad thing to happen to Garfield, which is a good point because famously Garfield is immune to John's discipline.
Yeah.
So I guess it's finally got to the point where Garfield's like, he'll kill me for this.
Yes, final straw
He'll
territory.
throw me
yeah.
out to the house. He says, I just looked it up and apparently it's considered one of the worst games of all time. All it was picking things up and putting them down again in a different bit of the room. But but it had a countdown timer on the screen the whole time.
I love this
John's coming.
This era of gaming. I don't know if you felt this, but there was not a sense of choice.
Yeah.
You bought a game, you took it home, and
Yeah.
that was
You
the
saw it through, yeah.
that
Yeah.
was the game you had, and you didn't at any point go, "Can I have a different game?" You just played that game until you realised how absurd it was.
Yeah, you just had to eat it.
Every game that was based on cartoons, the game that's come up most that most people sent in was Simpsons Hit and Run as one that they
Yeah.
rage quit and hate, and it's
What a
always
game.
because of the same factor: timed missions in
Yeah.
cartoony games. Everything was timed, and also it was hilarious because it was always low stakes. It was never like poisons filling the prison cells. It was always just like collect the 4 bones in the garden in 1 minute,
Yeah.
and then you fail to do it, and they go, you failed to do it again. You go, but I've got them right here, and do it. Bury them and do it again. You go, fucking
Yeah.
why?
Homer needs his donut.
Yeah, get the donuts mission. That's quite early on in that
Yeah.
game. That's a great game.
But Homer's a reasonable person, so Homer wouldn't be like, you've got 30 seconds or do it again. That's fucking crazy.
So Kian says, countdown timer on the screen the whole time. So you're Garfield. You're just picking things up and
It's,
moving them.
it's like he's in Crank.
Yeah. So, countdown timer on the screen the whole time that left 10-year-old me feeling so stressed that I had to stop playing. It's been 20 years and I still get occasionally pangs of guilt because I didn't finish cleaning Garfield's fucking house.
So imagine
I don't
being-
even like Garfield. He's just a stupid orange cat.
I always think, imagine being a parent at that time and watching your child clean Garfield's room as their room is absolutely
Yeah, absolutely.
sort of detritus everywhere. And you're like, okay, so
Yeah.
you're a cat and you're tidying your bedroom.
Katie hates it when she sees me doing admin in games and like really organising stuff and like organising someone's schedule. And she's like, I'll be paid like dishwasher stack of 4 or whatever. She's like,
Yeah.
what? Come on.
The fact
Why-
that you guys are actively trying to look for a house at the moment and you're
Yeah.
playing Unpacking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really. But this could be us. It's escapism.
Yeah.
You know how we're currently not moving?
Somebody sent it, Tracy sent in, and I'd never heard of this, but then I looked it up.
I heard of Tracy.
Dizzy the Egg.
What?
Haven't heard of Dizzy the Egg?
Crazy. What?
And then Tracy said that my dad even phoned a hotline for tips to help us play Dizzy the
Wow.
Egg. I looked up Dizzy the Egg. It's a very arcade style, like Pac-Man kind of
Yeah.
graphics. This is the vibe of Dizzy the Egg.
Oh, those
Little
would be the
thing.
worst. Yeah.
That looks
Heavily
so old.
pixelated.
Yeah.
It looks like it would be released now as like a really cool indie game.
It's
Yeah.
even the arcade style score at the top and coins and things like that. Welcome to Dizzy 2. You are carrying nothing. It says at the top.
Oh, Shinobi.
Shinobi, I never got past even like the first 20 seconds. I had it in a pack with Golden Axe and Streets of Rage.
Yes.
For the Mega Drive.
Yes.
Genesis for
I had that pack.
Shinobi was just we'd give it a go occasionally, but get no further than a couple of levels in. There's a new Shinobi coming out.
It's like someone designed a game where a ninja walks into a room and dies.
Yeah, it
gets immediately gets decapitated by a samurai.
Well, the thing is, that being like an old Sega Mega Drive game, what we have the benefit of is PS Plus Classics Collection has this, and Nintendo Switch Online has this. When you play a really old game like Golden Axe, you now have the function of pausing and rewinding. I could never get through Streets of Rage, but I played Streets of Rage 2 last year and just did like a no-hit run in 45 minutes because every time I did get hit, I'd be like, nope, didn't happen. And then you just rewind it. And so actually it helps people play the experience that they otherwise wouldn't have had.
I remember watching my my older cousin, who's the kind of person who's always good at games. My older cousin Jamie just getting all the way through to the kind of kingpin boss in Streets of Rage at the top of the skyscraper. Which is like when you're a kid, it's like watching someone levitate. You just can't believe it.
There's an option as well where I think he says, like, will you join me? And I think if you say no, then you fight him and you complete the game. If you say yes, he goes, ah, you bitch. And he pulls a lever and you go back a few levels. And you go, done. What a way to punish a child.
What a horrible way to write it out into the game. What a cruel thing to do.
Imagine if The Apprentice ended like that.
We could do this the easy way or the hard way. You go, I'd like to do it the easy way. And he's like, nah.
Insane. For me personally, there are two kinds of ways I never go back to a game that haunt me. There's ones where life gets in the way for a couple of weeks. You return to it and you go, I cannot. This is too late. This is absolutely too late. There's a game called Subnautica, really fun first-person survival game. You're like an astronaut who crashes on like a very aquatic planet, and you have to start just living from scratch. There are fish that contain oxygen. You've got to catch those fish, and then you've got to use them to breathe. Other fish you use for food. You use metals to gradually construct a base, but you're always on the clock. You've always got a hunger meter, and you've always got a breathing meter going down. And I played it for maybe 20 hours. I went away for 2 weeks, came back, and it's like, I already don't know what to do. I've lost it, and I can't do it. I had this with both the most recent Metroid games, Metroid Prime, incredible Metroidvania remake. It was for the GameCube and it came out on Switch last year. And I'd been booked to do 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. But then for the 2 weeks before I was on it, they were like, because it was like a COVID thing, they were like, can you be a stand-in? So if anyone's sick, then like you just sit in the dressing room in Manchester, and if no one gets sick from COVID, bearing in mind it was like 2023, if no one gets sick from COVID, then you just go home. You just go home and then you're on it anyway in a couple of weeks. And I was like, well, this sounds great. Yeah. So I spent 2 whole sessions in this dressing room for like 6 hours just playing Metroid Prime, and really praying, I hope no one knocks on the door and says, John Cooper Clarke's had a heart attack, because I was like, I'm lying down. I'm not in a position to go on TV. I haven't got any trousers on. It was so imperative. And then what happened is,
into a teenager, they knock on the door and Glenn, can you come to work, please? You're like,
no, just a second. It's the most you ever sound like you're wanking. And but you get a knock on your door at 9 p.m. and you'd go, this could go either way. It's either someone with a headset going, get ready now, or someone going, you're driving, you're going to go to the station, you can go home. Yeah. But I loved playing it in the dressing room. Then obviously, the following week when I was actually doing the show, I was too full of adrenaline, ready to go, but I didn't play it, and it's now too late. You can't go back to a Metroidvania because you don't know what abilities you've still got, where you are in the map. Relearning it. You just can't. And there's no like, here's where you need to go next. You need that whispery. You need an Aloy. You need someone like that. And the other one is ones where I've rage quit and thought I've been the bigger person. And I had this with Sekiro, which is the sort of ninja version made by From Software, who made Dark Souls. Big game in 2019. Really, really fun. Harder than Dark Souls for sure, I think. It's about parrying. It's all about parrying. And that makes it so much harder. And I got to the final boss and I was like, I think I'm doing okay. And I spent about a week on the final boss and I finally got him down. And then he sort of revived. And it turned out that was the first of 4 phases. And I'd spent a week on one and I just went, okay, that's enough game. Bye-bye. And for about 2 months afterwards, I was like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
That's got to be a big gripe, where a boss has a health bar and it actually just triggers a cutscene, and then there's like a bigger health bar.
Tell me the real thing. Don't lie to me. You've lied to me.
It's horrible.
I don't get to do that in the game.
I haven't planned all of my resources for this.
Yeah.
I guess it's a mistake you only make once, but I felt so secure in myself. And for like 2 months afterwards, I was like proudly telling people, I didn't even finish Sekiro. And then I realized I've been telling people for so long that I think I am really insecure about this actually. And I think this is actually because I'm talking about it all the time. And it ate away at me that I then spent a month month, and I went back to the game, and I had to defeat it. I spent a month learning to defeat this boss because I was like, got to do it because obviously I can't function.
Everybody's talking about it.
Everyone's talking about it somehow. How did people find out about it? Was it myself? Incredible suggestions from everyone, and thank you so much, everyone who got in touch.
Just to finish this segment off, just because in light of everything that we've been talking about, I just noticed one that somebody sent me. Somebody said called L said Famous 5, the PC game.
None of these are real.
So
None of these can be real. That's got to be educational. It's got to be like in Carter.
And they said bracket stuck when got to the lighthouse bit, and I'm like, it must all be lighthouse bits.
It's all it's like a Richard Curtis film.
Yeah.
It's all Lifehouse.
It's all
Yeah.
lighthouse and picnics, right?
Terry Pratchett, there was like a Discworld game.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. Those
There
are
was a
popular.
really early point-and-click PC one that I just couldn't figure out. I think it was a bug, but also I was 11.
Point-and-click games are bullshit fundamentally.
Yeah.
Where it's, why would I know to heat this rope over a mug until it's frayed enough and I can use the strands to kill an annoying dog that's not letting me get into the factory? Just like inside, like if you create a point-and-click game, you should be diagnosed and sent to hospital. If you make that, they should go, there's something wrong with you. We don't know what it is, but there's something wrong with you because your logic is off.
You've got point-and-click.
You've got point-and-click.
Yeah.
We knew you had point-and-click because you came in, and in order to get a drink from the vending machine, you took the top of an old man's cane and sawed it off to make a coin, and then carved a coin using the...
Yeah, you could have just paid for it using that money you made from the first broken sword game you made. Shall we get our griper rifles out and gripe a bit?
Let's
Yes.
do some griping.
I've got a personal one, which is really pernickety,
Yeah.
but it really bothers me, and it's come up because we're talking about licensed stuff like Garfield. I refuse to believe the Garfield one exists.
Let's do your gripe, and then let's do our gripes on the Patreon.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you a little teasy gripe.
Yeah.
Teasy gripe. Also, bear in mind, before we get on to
Gripe
that,
tease, Shadow Bane.
please, at all times, remember, send us your stories, send us your thoughts, whatever. You can get in touch using any method in the episode description. And please also join our Discord and join our Patreon, because every week we've got a whole new episode just for subscribers with more gaming chat, big weekly discussion topic, a recommendation of a game you may not have heard of, but we think you might enjoy, and of course, a playthrough of one of the most challenging games of all time, Dark Souls, that we're going through week by week. But in terms of gripes, this brings me to Garfield and Wallace. I just want to know what the game over screen is in Garfield. Is it just sort of when John comes back, is it just a lake and there's just a few bubbles emerging? Oh, fuck, he killed him.
It's John throwing a sack.
With licensed games, it really takes me out of it. And I remember this from like the Lord of the Rings games. But any game that's based on a film or a TV show or anything like that is when the big title comes up at the beginning. Only in games, just has the little TM trademark symbol at the bottom of it, and it just takes me out of the experience so
That's
much.
funny.
Because you go, the film doesn't have that, so this is the lesser version, isn't it? Why?
When the Star Wars credits come up, it doesn't say Star Wars TM in yellow over space.
Is that pathetic? I really don't like it. It really bothers me.
That's very niche.
Because I already feel insecure about video games, that I always feel that like you feel like the public in general don't see it as on the same level as other forms of media, and it is like a lesser form of media. So that it's little things like that I get really insecure about, and I go, oh, it's not real, is it? What I'm playing isn't it's not really entertainment, is it? I'm being stupid.
It's a tricky one, that, isn't it, Glenn? Because I do think you could get over it. I think that you need to be more proud of your relationship with video games. This is a therapy session now.
It's absolutely a therapy
we don't
session.
have time for. But I cannot say that I've ever noticed a single thing like that before in my life.
I don't know why it bothered me. It's so small.
What I have just is sort of related to this because it's what I thought you were going to say. Have you ever played a film-based game where they have not bothered to do any animated cutscenes? They just show you the scene from the game.
Oh man, I think the Matrix did that.
Yeah.
There was a Matrix game years ago.
Oh,
which just
from
did
the
that.
film.
I had a Bugs Life film game that did that.
Really?
Yeah, and so you'd complete a level, and then it would just show you a portion of a Bug's Life,
That's mad.
and then it would go back into the game.
Although I did play in the 90s Muppets Inside, which is a CD-ROM game
Right.
where the Muppets were stuck in your computer. It's quite like abstract for a 90s game.
What? And it was just like malware.
Ed the Eagle one, he was stuck in your keyboard. You had to get him out
Right.
by like playing a game. The Swedish Chef was in your hard drive or something.
Right. What's he doing there? What's he looking at?
Kermit's in the screen.
Why would you head straight for that?
Yeah. Is he saying 999?
He's just throwing up in his
The
little
one guy
pot.
that can't speak English.
Don't listen to him. And you had to sort of like save them from being trapped in the computer because a virus or some electricity had put them in. But they would just play cutscenes from like the classic 70s Muppet Show. Like just clips. But they were really funny
But
because
not
it was
really
a very funny show.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like your reward or something for
Not
completing
adding
a
to the
mission.
story.
It's so lazy. And also, it's just made me realise that's why you had to play as Gromit, because they didn't have to record any dialogue.
Ah, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, they were so lazy with those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and choose the silent character. He just
Welcome
looks
to
at you.
Undead Berg, lad.
Well, speaking of Undead Bug, we're going to head over to the Patreon now. Why don't we? Where obviously you guys have been tasked with a mission in Dark Souls.
Yep.
That mission was to ring 2 specific things. The mission, of course, is given to you by the Crestfallen Warrior as a bit of a teaser of what we've got to expect. This is the Crestfallen Warrior, the person we can't stand, who sits at Firelink Shrine and gently tells you what to do.
There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below in the ruins at the base of Blighttown. George Bush did 9/11.
So there you have it. 2 bells.
I knew
I didn't
because
know.
I've realised that during the recording of this episode that I don't trust a single word you say anymore. I feel like I'm living in a constant state of alarm where I'm waiting for the lies to begin.
What an unbearable life Katie leads.
Yeah.
Having to deal with this shit every day.
Did 9/11.
Want
Horrible
to hear
laugh.
more, do you?
Well, head over to the Patreon.
It was an inside job.
Jet fuel can't melt you.
Yeah.
Join us on the Patreon for a brand new episode. We'll see you next week for more Button Boys. Thank you guys for joining me very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
Button Boys.